When you're hiking, it's normal to keep most of your equipment inside your backpack, such as your tent and your sleeping bags. The only risk with having everything inside your backpack is if you are separated from your backpack, you could be left out here in the bush with nothing. That's why I always like to keep a series of basic equipment on my person at all times when I'm trekking. In this video, I wanted to show you what those items are. So this is the small bum bag that I carry with me when I'm hiking in the snow and the bush. If I am trekking in the jungle, I don't normally carry the bum bag because I'm wearing cargo pants and there's enough room in the pockets for all this gear. So I'll just open it up and show you the simple items that are in here. Firstly, just a Bic lighter, only weighs about 10 grams. And I think a cigarette lighter is ultimately the most efficient and easy way and effective way to make a campfire. Traditional fire lighting methods like ferrocerium rods and bow drills normally require two hands to operate, so if you are injured, it's going to be a lot easier to just light the campfire the 20th century way or the 21st century way. A lot safer, I think. This is the pocket knife I carry, or pocket tool. It's a Swiss Army knife, 35-piece tool set, all in one. Very light, very compact, easy to carry, very comfortable to carry. And that's the main thing about everyday carry items. You want them to be comfortable enough so you can wear them even at the end of the day when you put your pack down. So that covers everything that was in the front. Let's open up the main section. In previous videos you may have seen me wearing a compass around my neck, but I recently decided that's a bit of a choke hazard, so from now on I always have my Sunto compass just tied either to my belt and in the cargo pants, or in this case inside the bum bag, but just attached with that lanyard so I can't lose it. I always wear sunglasses, well, I always carry sunglasses, so this is the sunglass cleaning tool, so at all times I always do have one of these on me. Really nothing to do with survival, but it is an item that I'll have in the bum bag when I'm hiking in the bush in the snow. Inside this waterproof container, a very important tool, or survival beacon. That's the InReach Explorer. If you are looking for an emergency distress beacon system, I would recommend this. I think they really make old EPIRBs and spots and satellite phones redundant. The amount of functions in this little tool, including the SOS button, so really effective way of calling for help if you were stuck out in the bush. I've never had to call for help in my lifetime, but I do use this to text people while I'm out here. So it is running off the Iridium satellite network, an extremely reliable, useful piece of gear to carry. Garmin have recently just taken over the company InReach, so there is a newer model. This is the older model, so if you're interested, I'd recommend looking that one up. So there's the waterproof or rainproof pouch that I keep the InReach inside, and also I always just also keep my cell phone inside the bum bag, just an iPhone. Also inside the bum bag is a whistle. So I think a whistle is a pretty traditional piece of gear to carry, but I think in the 21st century, with satellite phones being, or satellite communicating devices being so easy to come by, I think one should question, are whistles actually useful? And that is because the whistle is obviously only useful if your rescue team is within earshot, but you could call for help, you know, to someone who's on the other side of the world with a satellite communicator. So the whistle is still in there, still carried it after all these years. This is the Life Systems whistle, extremely loud. I won't blow it now because it will cancel out the audio on the camera. And in this section right here in the middle, I carry just a 4-meter piece of gear rope. I know a lot of people like to carry paracord for the many uses that it has, but I think to me gear rope lasts longer. It doesn't sort of fray and fall apart like paracord. just a simple piece of rope. You may have noticed in my previous PSK survival video, I had a paracord bracelet tied to the side here, but I think most paracord bracelets out there never really get deployed, and you sort of question, are they actually useful if it's something that you won't deploy because it's too difficult to actually weave it back together again. So this is a piece of rope that we actually use. We do actually use it. It's not just in there for survival purposes. We use this as guy lines for our tents and also clotheslines. So it's a pretty simple kit. It's very lightweight. The overall weight, if you take away the cell phone, is only about 400 grams. That's the complete kit, including communicator, pocket knife, compass. Another thing I like about the bum bag system is it does give me the option of hanging other items off the belt. For example, here on the right side, I keep my merino wool balaclava, and this is mainly in winter or in extreme cold. If I'm not wearing the balaclava, that's where I'll actually keep it at all times, just tied to the right side of the bum bag strap, just with half a square knot. That's the knot that I use to hold it in place. And I showed you before the compass. The lanyard on that compass is only probably 25 centimeters, but that does give me enough length to operate the compass. I can easily read the needle on the compass with only that short distance of lanyard. So that is actually tied to the waist strap, but then goes inside the zip section. So when I'm car camping, I can also just hang my keys on a carabiner off the waist strap so I don't lose my keys. And finally, another item I can keep on the bum bag waist strap is my large knife, or machete in this case. It's just the sheath. So normally during the day of hiking, as I'm hiking from point A to point B, I wouldn't have the machete hanging off my waist like this because it's quite uncomfortable. It'll be inside the backpack. But when I do reach the campsite and I want to start chopping up some wood, I can hang the blade off the bum bag like this. Just makes it a lot easier to reach for it when I'm cutting up wood. Thanks for watching Bush Channel. Make sure you subscribe.